your life is based on decisions, and it's your decisions that give you that energy to make things happen. I was waiting in, we're sitting on the chairs, and I was waiting for my turn, and there were brochures, and I went and picked one up while I was waiting to read it. And it basically said 80% of businesses fail within 5 years. And she said, she shocked me. She asked me, she said, "Are you going to get a real job now?"
Let's say 3 to 4 skills entrepreneurs must have to succeed.
Must build that reputation, that brand. That brand is not a logo. The logo is only a visual identity. If you've got the skills, you can run a beautiful business anywhere, inshallah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Monday Talkers, here we are again with Monday and another guest. His called is Sari Award. Nice to meet you. Hi, Sari.
How are you?
Amazing. So if you are ready to have assumptions challenged, your curiosity ignited, and your leadership lens forever altered, let's embark this journey with Sari. Today's main subject is why most entrepreneurs fail to succeed. Before we dive into this treasure trove of wisdom, let's have something from the heart. You know, every subscription, every like, every share means the world to us. It's not about numbers, it's about community we're building together. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share with your friends. It's more than just that support, it's a journey. Let's take it together. Alrighty, for today, let's get started and let's get introduced to who is Sari.
Basically, I'm an entrepreneur. I've started my journey in 2004. It's been about 20 years now. Mm-hmm. Exactly January 2004. So it's exactly like 20 years. At the age of 19. Oh. Basically, I realized that I don't want to be working for anyone. Back then, entrepreneurship, the actual term, was not really big at the time. In fact, the first time I heard of the term entrepreneurship was maybe when I was 26. But in reality, I realized that I don't want to move through the same story as everyone else. That traditional story.
You started at 19.
19.
But you heard about entrepreneurship on 26.
Yes, I mean the term itself, it was not very common like today. Oh, okay, you're a business owner, we used to call it in Australia self-employed. You're self-employed, not working for anyone. But the actual term entrepreneurship, maybe like it came into perspective in the world maybe I heard of it at 26. I mean, it was there probably before, but it wasn't that big of a big deal. Okay, you're self-employed, you're working for yourself. You're a sole trader or a company or a businessman or a businesswoman. But the actual term was not there.
Okay.
So now we're learning more in the last 10 years or so, in the last 12 years or so, we're learning more about what is entrepreneurship and how it's how it actually starts. But basically for me, it was a decision to say, look, I don't want to work for anyone else. I want to do my own thing. I want to grow, and I've got a couple of dreams I want to have, and employment wasn't going to do it for me.
Okay, so don't you advise someone before thinking of being an entrepreneur should have some kind of experience and then learn from the corporate life and then shift into entrepreneur, or does it have to be this way?
Look, from my experience, it doesn't have to be that way. In fact, I truly think that, and I see this today with the clients I coach, that when people jump into the corporate world, they get into a comfort zone, and it becomes very hard to get out of it.
They get stuck.
Yeah, you get stuck, especially because as you grow, your responsibilities grow, and then your comfort zone gets you into this mode where I can't leave. I'm waiting for a monthly paycheck. Maybe I'm too old for it. I'm not going to unlearn and learn new things. So, it's very dangerous. So when people tell me, look, I just want to get some experience, I tell them, no problem, get some experience, but be super careful not to fall in the trap and stay there too long. Because the longer you stay, the harder it is to get out.
Okay, so how did you manage to be a risk taker, to have you as a self-employed by 19 and finance yourself without getting someone yeah.
That's the best part. When you start young, you basically have nothing to lose. You've got nothing to lose. You're starting off. You're basically starting with zero, and you've got the whole world out there for you. You don't have many responsibilities. So I finished my university and I was studying, and I was actually married at 19 too. So I'm a big risk taker. So yes. So that also helped when you have the right partner. It makes a big difference. Alhamdulillah. But yeah, so we basically were at university together, and we started our first business together, and the business is still running until today, 20 years later, and it's grown in Australia, and then we sold it there, and we started one here in another branch here in Amman 10 years ago, and it's growing very strong, alhamdulillah. So look, being a risk taker at that time, there was nothing to lose. You're out there. It's just a matter of learning, making mistakes, unlearning, making another mistake, and just moving forward.
Was it you who financed the issue, or you had
yes,
to
basically we were hustling on the side, and this is something that's very critical. That when you start, you have to start very small, very small. We actually started from the back of our home. We actually teach English and math. That's what we do. And we're basically, if people are here in Jordan, we're basically the competition of the British Council. So we compete. Yes, alhamdulillah. And but basically, we started from the back of our home. It was 36 square meters, and we set up very well. And I totally believe that from day one, if you offer a good service, no matter how small you are, people will like you, because at the end of the day, in business, people buy from people. If they liked my way in dealing with them and running the business, then definitely they'll come back.
What was the most challenging? Maybe, let me guess, to get people aware that I'm doing this service, or I'm offering this service, or I exist at least. Was it this way?
The challenge, okay, people think that the challenge is getting the money. I actually went and borrowed $2,500 from a friend back then to answer that first question. And basically, we were hustling on the side, doing different jobs. I did pizza delivery. My wife was doing other jobs as well. I did, I worked on the Sunday markets. We have like a Sunday markets in Australia on the weekend to try and make things work. That we did, all these. I did like 6-7 jobs on the side. My wife was working at part-time at a school as well, just to make things happen in the first 2 years. And alhamdulillah, things did very well. But the biggest challenge is the society, because society, they themselves put you down. They themselves consider that since you're at university, you should be going through the normal pathway of working and then working for others and applying for jobs, the normal traditional mindset that we have. And for me, that was a big challenge, because everyone around you saw you as young, as maybe crazy even, and that you're inexperienced, and you're most likely not going to do very well. That was the vibe that we got.
In Australia, even in Australia.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I mean, I'll tell you a quick story. When I went to register the business for the first time, I was waiting. I say this story all the time. I was waiting in, we're sitting on the chairs, and I was waiting for my turn. And there were brochures, and I went and picked one up while I was waiting to read it. And it basically said 80% of businesses fail within 5 years. So that was like a message to me. I took 2 messages from that. One message was, I need to survive 5 years, and I'll be on the safe side. And I also took that they're actually warning me, telling me, look, you may be back within 5 years to close down the business, to come and, close it down. So it was like a big challenge. It was a big challenge for me and for the people around us, because even while I was at university, when I graduated, I sent my grandmother, who was here, Allah yarhamha, in Amman, and I was in Sydney. And I know the
Nice.
traditional mindset. She wants, they want you to graduate and do all that. And by that time, the business was running for about 3 years, and we're doing very well. And when I called her up and said, Teta, I graduated. Alhamdulillah, I'm done. I'm going to make you happy. And she said, she shocked me. She asked me, she said, are you going to get a real job now?
Real job.
Real job, the job that the traditional mindset that, you're going to go out there and apply to a company, work for corporate. And I was shocked, and I said, Teta, I make more money than 2 school principals put together. It's just, again, it's just that traditional mindset. So, and it took them time to realize, okay, that yes, this guy is okay, they're young, but they've got a business running.
So, let me guess, you didn't have that family support, at least.
Look, they didn't go against it, but there was a lot of ifs and buts. The biggest challenge was, again, because we're talking about society, the biggest challenge when it comes to to us was when we decided to come to Jordan. That was crazy. That was like crazy.
When was
Australia,
that?
2013.
Oh, okay.
That was, yeah. So I was like, back then, Arabi, all these things. And what are you doing? You're doing so well in Australia. What are you doing? Everything's perfect. And you're doing so super good. And all of a sudden, you're going to leave Australia and come to Jordan. So that was like a big shock to them. But alhamdulillah, look, there's something very important when it comes to entrepreneurship and business. If you've got the skills, you can run a beautiful business anywhere, inshallah.
I was going to ask about that. What kind of, let's say, 3 to 4 skills entrepreneurs must have to succeed?
First one, honestly, in Arabic I'm going to say it عشان توصل منيح تكون متصالح مع نفسك. Yes, you need to know yourself. Really, you really need to know yourself, because a lot of the decisions you make are based on your abilities to strategize and to analyze your options. If you don't have that confidence and know that, deep down, that gut feeling that I can make it happen, inshallah, it's not going to work, no matter how much money you have. And I've got many cases, because I'm dealing with clients now, and I coach people. They come with the money, but they don't come with the mindset. So it's not the money. So that's the first thing I want to get out of the way. It's the first skill you need to have is you need to know yourself, to be confident with yourself that inshallah, if I put my mind to something, I'll make it happen. Right? So that's the first skill you need to have. Number 2, you need to be very comfortable with risk taking. Because again, the traditional mindset is that I go to work, I go to whether it's corporate or whatever, and I'm waiting for that paycheck at the end of the month. I'm safe. So whatever decision you make, you're actually playing on someone else's risk. You as an employee, any decision you make, the worst case that can happen is you get fired. That's the worst thing that can happen. And then you find another job. But with us, you can lose everything. You can really lose everything. And, that's where you have to be very comfortable with taking a calculated risk, doing your homework, doing the research, asking the right questions, digging deep into it before you jump into a decision. But
educate.
Definitely. It's all about, look, I always tell people, I'll always tell my clients, I have a minimum of 1 hour of learning every single day. Every single day, I have a minimum of 1 hour dedicated for learning. It's a must.
Wow.
It's a must.
Wow.
It's a must. So this is, again, being comfortable with taking risks and knowing that in business, you have to give 9 to take 10. You have to give 9 to take 10. This is something that a lot of people, they don't understand, that in business, we have to do a lot of things for free. A lot of things for free. But that free comes back. We have to give. At the beginning, especially, you have to give a lot. Okay, you have to be giving. And if you're not willing to give and you're just waiting for a monthly paycheck at the end, no, then go just do your normal, employee, corporate world that you're in, where you get paid at the end of the month. But for us, no, we know any business we start, for a couple of years, we have to be giving a lot. And we're going to be living on really, really thin ice until things just get better. That's the challenge we take.
Okay, let's move on to the main question. It's like this, for sure, you've read when you started your own, 80% will fail within 5 years.
Yeah.
Why? why most entrepreneurs fail to succeed?
One of the main reasons is resilience. They're not ready to get punched in the face. And this is
Okay.
what happens. I mean, when you get punched in the face, you lose control and you start making stupid decisions. And you take things personal and you can't accept rejection. And all of a sudden you feel that things aren't working out. So, you start, it's like fight or flight mode. And you start making decisions that are not rational. And for us, no, we understand, our mindset is very clear that in business, you're going to get hit. And you're going to get hit hard. And you're going to be rejected. And you're going to have these people that don't understand or don't believe in your story or in what you're doing. And you may even get people who are going to take advantage of you because you're still young or you're still starting out. So that's all part of the story, and you have to accept it. So this is one of the reasons that business fail. They're not willing to take on that heat at the beginning. The second reason is they fail because they're still thinking in the employee mode, where as employees, we're used to a job description. We're used to 9 to 5. We're used to people telling us what to do. We're not allowed to think outside the box. We have a traditional way that we have to follow. So these are all things that don't happen in the business world. When you're a business owner, you're on your feet. You wake up at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. No one wakes you up. You need to wake up. You have to be here. It's as simple as that. We don't have someone telling us, oh, next week we have a project. No. We're looking for that project. We're digging deep. We're looking. We're knocking on doors. We're knocking everywhere, asking people to give us a chance, and we'll show you how good we are. So this is what when people come from corporate or from employment to the real world, they realize, oh my God, I have to go out there and sell. Yes, you have to go out there and sell. You have to go out there and knock on doors and put proposals together and give things for free. Like the other day, I was speaking to a young man who's in his 30s, and he wants to start his business and everything in him. And basically, I said to him, look, not at the first couple of projects, you're going to have to do it for free to build your portfolio. He was shocked. He was shocked that we have to do things for free. He said, yes, we have to do things for free. We have to build our portfolio, get our reviews, and get people, on the bandwagon. And all of a sudden, they're going to tell other people. You're going to get certain reviews, and then slowly, you're going to pick up a job here and there. But you have to go out there.
Oh yeah.
You have to go out.
Okay, so let's think it the other way. We talked about what makes them fail. Okay, what are the key skills or key things to consider to succeed?
The key things to consider are, you have to answer one question. And to answer this question, you need to understand that there is no business with no customers. So when you start a business, a lot of us make the mistake of, we think of ourselves. I like this. I'm very good at this. Oh, this is amazing. People will love that. But the question you have to ask is, what does the consumer want? What does he want? So when I'm working with clients, the first question we sit and we discuss and we have to answer very well and very detailed is, who is my client? In fact, who is my ideal client? Who's this client that I'll be so happy to serve? I've designed this whole business. I'm working so hard to make them happy. What are their priorities? What are their pain points? What problem am I solving for them? What do they really care about? Why will they give me their money? Yeah. Once you start answering these questions deep down into their mindset, into how my clients think, all of a sudden you're going to design something really nice. But we do this. We go, we build, then we try to think, okay, who's here that wants to buy what I've built? It doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. It's design, then build. We cook the meal, it's ready. Say, oh, who's hungry? Who wants to eat? Right? We have to create that recipe by knowing, okay, these guys like chicken, these guys like meat, these guys like rice, these guys like soup, these guys like salads, right? Understand my ideal client, what they want, then I'll create a very nice meal.
So if we want to put it in a clear process steps, what an entrepreneur should have to go through before he say or before he declares that I am a successful entrepreneur.
Can you repeat that question again?
If we want to make it as a process and
Yeah.
go into steps, just like one wonderful thing you just mentioned, get a clear idea about your ideal customer, and then what?
Good.
What happens?
Once when we find our ideal customer, we have to ask ourselves, okay, who else in the market is also targeting this customer? So my competition, what are they doing? Yeah, what are they doing great that I can learn from and I can compete with? And what are they doing wrong that I must improve? Because at the end of the day, the customer that you're looking for, there are others out there also looking for that customer too. So you have to look at your competition, and you need to see the positives they have, the strengths and the weaknesses, and you also need to look at their competitive advantage. Don't have an ego. You can't go into business thinking, well, I'm the best, we're going to do so well, we're going to kill the competition. No, the competition is also there, and they've got things to offer too. What competitive advantage they have that you may not have, or that give them an edge? You have to study that very, very well, because you're going to have to come up with something else to compete. And this is something that people forget. They look at only what they have, but they don't see what others also have to offer, because they're also in the race. So you have to understand very well what your competition is doing and what they have to offer, so you're not shocked when the race begins.
Okay.
Then we have to think about, okay, my brand. What do I want my ideal customer to see in my business? I'll give you an example. For the last 30, 40 years, Daniel has grown up, and people around him, they know certain attributes about Daniel. So they have, if you ask anyone who knows you for the last 20, 30 years, they can tell you your traits. Same thing with Sari. They can tell you what Sari is good at, what Sari can improve. Sari's built a reputation for certain things in his life. Same thing with Daniel. Okay, so same thing in business. We must build that reputation, that brand. That brand is not a logo. The logo is only a visual identity. It's like my face. My face represents my brand, what I stand for, my values, how I live my life, how I make my decisions, who I help and who I don't help, right? Same thing, your business. It has a vision. Where does it want to go? And are you willing to follow that vision with a clear mission? What about the values that you stand for, that every single person that works with you, whether it's a small employee or the biggest employee, okay, suppliers, they all have to understand that you have certain values in your business that you follow. So all of a sudden, these things create that brand, that sum'ah that people want to buy or buy from. So these are steps that we do. We don't just go in there and think about, oh, what I want to sell. Forget what you want to sell. You have to think about what you stand for. That's the umbrella. Your brand is the umbrella. Everything under it are your products and services. And if you can imagine an umbrella, you as an entrepreneur, you're holding an umbrella. So you're holding an umbrella. The top is your brand. Everything under it is everything that you actually provide under that brand. So we have to understand very well and craft. I really seriously say, we craft our brand. We craft how we want to look. Exactly like a parent. Your business is like a child. When a parent has when a mother and father have a child, they've already designed, if they're smart enough, they've designed exactly how they want that child to be in 20 years. They decide the school, they decide who their kids hang out with, they decide what the kids eat, what they wear, what they watch, who they talk to. Why? Because they're shaping that child in the vision that they want based on the values that they have. Your business is exactly the same. It's your other child. Once you think that way, all of a sudden, every single decision you make is very strategic, because you have a very clear pathway, a plan. You know where you want that business to be in 20 years, inshallah. Exactly like your child.
Okay. Love it when you said your parents plants everything in their kids' mindset. And that's what affects us, like Teta was saying, are you going to get a real job?
Yeah.
But in this concept, do you think entrepreneurs have childs that can get more entrepreneurs? I mean, is it a legacy? I am an entrepreneur, I can teach my kid to be an entrepreneur, or is it a mindset that you are free, just go. What's your dream? Do it yourself. Um, how much does it depend on the parents to create
In
entrepreneurs?
in English, we say monkey see, monkey do.
Uh-huh.
Your child will see, they may not say something, but they will actually take everything that you do, even, you know, from when they're starting, what, a year and a half or 2 years old, and they start observing, and they take everything you say, and even your tone of voice. So what they see you doing, they're going to do the same thing. If they see that you're very good at money management and you communicate that very well, guess what? They're going to start thinking in the same way. And when you actually teach them while you're sitting in the car or eating or walking together and discussing certain things, and don't keep your business away from your children. Your children have to be involved in your business, not necessarily so they can take over the business, no, but they're going to pick up certain skills and decisions and the way you run certain things if you're successful, and they're going to think, wow, I want to do this, I want to learn from this, dad did this, mom did that, and they're going to start taking that kind of mentality. It's exactly the same as the other mindset. The other mindset, people who charabu, that you have to have a CV and you have to work in a corporate job and you have to, and you're waiting for your daman and your taqa'ud and right? Okay, you've been spoon-fed that. Entrepreneurial families also spoon-feed their kids. Okay, and I mean, I've got alhamdulillah 5 children now, and my oldest, we've realized a year and a half ago that she loves fashion design. You go into her bedroom now, she's got four sewing machines. Wow. Right? Yep, and she's only what, she's 17 now. So, and she makes her own dresses and everything else. She may change that later on. That's not my issue. But my issue is she's learning to pick up a skill. So she goes 1 day a week. Yesterday I picked her up. She goes to a tailor, and she's sitting there and learning from how the tailor deals with customers, how they negotiate, how you've got good customers and bad customers. So she's sitting there observing and learning at the age of 17 in a tailor, just watching how things work. That in itself is very powerful. So when she, inshallah, wants to initiate any business that she has, or she wants to help us in our business too, so she's already got that kind of mindset. Even when my wife and I discuss our business, I intentionally discuss certain areas in our business in front of the children. I want them to take on, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, let's go a bit personal. It's a tough decision when you when you decide to be a risk taker and proceed with life as an entrepreneur. Was there any hesitance in your own journey when you say, I can't do it again? It's like I have a big family, just like you said, you have 5 kids, and then maybe I did all I can. Now it's time to get a little bit of safety by paycheck and go to corporate life. Was there any weakness point thinking this way in your head?
Okay, I get these kind of questions, and I say to people, who said that you have to leave your job to start another job? We never say that. We don't agree with, I never ever say to someone, leave your job and start your own business. No way. It's a balance. So you have your own corporate job, but for 2 years of your life, you start your own business on the side, on the weekends, staying up late at night, doing that, building that other business that you are actually hoping to jump into. And then at a period of time, you're going to realize that I'm now ready to leave my corporate job and jump into the business that I've been building for the last 2 or 3 years. So let's just get that straight. We're not saying you jump ship all of a sudden from here to here. It's not going to work, because you have bills to pay, you've got responsibilities to do, it's not going to work. It will never work. That's the stupid decision. We say, no, build it slowly on the weekends, work on it, dedicate 20 hours, 15 hours every week to slowly build. And you're going to have give more hours later on. The big sacrifice for the first 2 years, definitely. Okay. And then you're going to realize, oh, we're making enough money. Okay, let's now jump ship and put all my effort into it. Fair enough. That's the safest option. But for you just to jump like that, no way, no way.
Okay. The time was running very fast, so we have only 5 minutes left. Okay, let's wrap it up by leaving our audience with something to ponder. Let's rewrite what we have said and leave them with something to think or think.
Your life is based on decisions, and it's your decisions that give you that energy to make things happen. Some of us, we know, I'm comfortable with my normal employee job, fine. Stay there and do an amazing job and be sincere to your boss and to your work and to your customers. Amazing. But for those of us who feel, no, this is not me. I don't like to be where I am, and I really have dreams to pursue. Then I say to them, do not delay, because delaying means it's only going to get harder. And I always tell people, what are you waiting for? What's going to change 6 months or a year from now? So that's something that I want people to remember, that delaying is not always, a lot of the time, it's not, a real factor in making it more successful if you delay it in 6 months or a year from now. So that's something I want people to remember.
Okay, what people can gain when they connect with you?
The people who connect with me, they gain one main thing, and that is a change of the mindset. Once we start bringing out the best in you and showing you that you've got A, B, C, D of things that you don't even see, all of a sudden, these same people surprise me after 6 months to a year in the things that they're doing. And this is what I see every day and with my clients. I mean, they pay me, the pay is gone. But the legacy that I leave behind when I see them on, or they send me messages, or I see them on Instagram or social media, and they're celebrating wins. And I think, subhanAllah, I remember the first 2 or 3 sessions I had with you. Look at you now.
Sure.
This is very powerful for me, alhamdulillah.
Okay, lastly, where can audience connect with you? How?
Basically, I recommend anyone who wants to just learn more about entrepreneurship, to grow their businesses systematically, to follow me on Instagram, Sari Award on Instagram. I'm always, every single day, I'm putting out content on there. And if they want to know more about my services, they go to my website, www.sariawad.com. And also recently, 6 weeks ago, we launched the first entrepreneurial community, exclusive community in the Middle East, called the Founders Cube. And that is also run by me, alhamdulillah, and we're starting to get members. These members actually have to apply to join the community. It's not for everyone. It's very exclusive. I actually go through the application form and approve. Then they pay a small fee and they join the community with live events and daily discussions on entrepreneurship and how to build strong businesses.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much, Sari. It was really nice to have you here. And for you, our viewers, it's been a pleasure to have you again with us on this Monday. And we look forward to see you apply, or at least have a moment to think. Maybe I am the next entrepreneur, or maybe at least I have to listen to those who have been there. So to all of you, our viewers, remember to follow, like, subscribe Monday Talks for more insightful conversation like this one. Until next time, stay empowered and take care. Thank you. Bye-bye, Sari.